Just close the door. So just before we get into things, once again, there's a sign-up sheet going around the room. If you could please fill out your name and everything else that's on that sheet before we get going, that would be lovely. And otherwise, I guess I can start whenever, right, Roseanne?
I had to take myself off of mute. Yes, you can.
Lovely. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Corey Carter, and I think the perfect place to kind of start this conversation is to say thank you for being here. Kind of a perfect way to start because we're talking about the power of gratitude. Today, I'm going to be walking you through basically a few different ways that you can interject gratitude into your own daily lives, as well as my experience with gratitude, just so you understand where I'm coming from when it comes to this power that we all have each and every day of our lives. But to get started, I'm going to do some math with you. I'm not a math person, but I'm going to kind of frame the context of gratitude for you in a way that makes sense. So, on average, we say thank you about 5 times a day. Now, not all 5 times are those always sincere, but roughly 5 times a day we say thank you at some point. The average lifespan of a Canadian right now is about 82.3 years. Don't tell my 98-year-old grandma that because she is defying the odds each and every day. So you kind of see where I'm going is I'm going to do some math around how many times we actually say thank you in our lifetime. This is about the average of days in your life based on that 82.3 years. So we're dealing with 30,059 days of our lives. It seems like not that big of a number, but it's a long time. Now I know what you're thinking. Some of those years we don't actually speak, probably the first 2. So I'm going to remove those days just for the sake of making sure that math makes sense. Math is complicated. So that gives us 29,309 days of our average life. When we take that and times it by the 5 times that we're saying thank you every single day, that 146,547.5 times, again, unless you're not necessarily being the most sincere. That's a big number, but I'm gonna frame it in a different way. So in the room right now, and the people on the Zoom meeting, I'll get you to do this on mute. You don't have to do it out loud, but I want everyone in the room to just say thank you for me real quick. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's say that, just for the sake of easy numbers, that took us a second. So we're going to apply seconds to that same number. So that 146,547, that is now seconds. That seems like a lot of seconds, but what does that actually equate to in hours? It's only 40.7 hours. To give you an idea, if you binge watched Game of Thrones to get caught up right before the last season happened, you spent more time doing that. You actually spent almost double the time doing that. That isn't really that long of a time period. It's not even 2 days. When you look at it in the grand scheme of things, 2 days out of the 29,309 days of your life, that's when you're showing gratitude. That's not a very high number. That's 0.01%. That's not enough gratitude. So what we're going to get into today is we're going to start kind of taking that number higher and higher and higher in ways that we can do every single day, month, year, so on and so forth. So just wanted to frame gratitude for you in a way that makes a little more sense in terms of looking at it in the grand scheme of your life. But what do I know? So I thought it was important to frame things in a way that makes sense. What do I know and why am I the one that's talking to you about gratitude today? So I am going to tell you a story. I'm just going to take a drink of water first because this is a long story and it's a little difficult for me to get through, but I'm going to do it. These are pictures of my dad and me. So we're going to go back in time a little bit. We're going to go back in time about 14 years. So 14 years ago, the nature of my family completely changed. My father was diagnosed with prostate cancer. This was something that we dealt with kind of one day at a time. That's really what you have to do when it comes to dealing with cancer. You take it one day at a time. I was there for my dad, our family. It was a very, very tough time for our family up to that point. In that time frame as well, we lost my grandfather to cancer as well. when it came to this learning and this understanding, one of the tough conversations that my father had to have with me is the fact that our family has a history of cancer. A very real conversation that needed to be had to really understand what potentially could befall me in the future. That is something that I am grateful for, that understanding, that knowledge. As I'm telling the story, I'm going to be speaking to the little notes of gratitude throughout, and that'll kind of help with the context. So, happily enough, this doesn't end badly. I'm happy to say that my father did beat cancer and is still here with us today, 14 years later, which is a good thing, but it doesn't frame it exactly the way that I need to frame it, which is the fact that I too was diagnosed with cancer. This was, it'll be 7 years ago in December. So I was pretty healthy, pretty active at the time. So I went to the doctor thinking that I just pulled a muscle. As it turns out, I did not pull a muscle. We did an ultrasound. One of my gratitude moments from that process was the fact that ultrasound technicians aren't supposed to tell you anything, that they're supposed to hand it off to a doctor. Mine didn't. Mine immediately said, I'm going to go get you a doctor right now. This was at, it was 5 p.m., so the doctor's office was closing. But they took the time to see me, and 4 days after that, I had surgery to remove the cancer. I am grateful to say today I am a cancer survivor, and I felt that it was important to kind of frame this in a way that makes sense of why am I the one that's talking about gratitude. It's because I'm very grateful to be alive today and very grateful to my father for giving me the knowledge and understanding that I needed in order to fight my own fight. Throughout the process, it was difficult, it was hard. CT scans, blood work, all of that fun stuff became very happenstance for me. Constant trips to Toronto to do these testing. I took things with my own sort of sick sense of humor, thinking that I would be radioactive. As it turns out, you are given for a CT scan trace levels of radiation, so I was for a period of time. I couldn't go near kids. It's fine. But that gratitude of knowing what this battle looked like from my father, because I walked with him every step of the way, helped me to inform my own journey and helped me to kind of understand that when they said that C word to me, that didn't scare me, that didn't freak me out. I knew this was coming, and I was grateful for that. Beyond that, I'm grateful for what I learned from the journey and what I now have the capacity to do as an individual. Ever since my father's diagnosis, I've been involved with the Movember Foundation. They're a foundation that supports men's health and cancer research as well into male cancers, prostate, testicular, so on and so forth. I am a proud Mobro. This will be my 13th Movember. I have raised over $10,000 for the foundation over the course of all the times that I've been donating, and I am very grateful for every opportunity that the foundation has given me as well. Now you understand why I'm the one that's giving this presentation. You understand my concept of what gratitude is and my understanding of, I think we can do more. I think we can go beyond what we do today. So now we're going to get into, well, what is gratitude? What is that actual thing? So we're going to be talking about two different versions of gratitude. There's the external gratitude, things like saying thank you, or 146,547 of them. There are things like sending someone an email, phoning them, texting them, and just making sure that they understand that they have value in your life. High fives, hugs, handshakes, pets. Pets are reserved for animals. Don't pet people. Probably wouldn't be reciprocated or appreciated. Gifts or acts of kindness are really great ways of showing external gratitude. Buying someone a coffee even is such a simple thing that you can do, but so very appreciated from people, especially when they've been having a really rough day or they're very tired and you can tell. And the other thing is spreading that feeling. That's another way that you can show gratitude. I didn't have the time to put it in the slide, but it actually happened just this morning within our marketing team that someone brought in smile cookies, but the only way that you could get a smile cookie is you had to say something that you're thankful for within D2L. Again, this just happened this morning. I couldn't make it up if I tried. And boy, was that cookie delicious. But that's another way that you can do it. Little activities that involve your coworkers, your teammates, your friends, your family. Spread that feeling. The other form of gratitude is that internal gratitude, that gratitude for yourself. Understanding that every once in a while we have a hard day and we're allowed to say that we had a hard day, but we made it through it. We're grateful for that. Every day is a challenge, and you overcome it every single day. What are ways that you can show internal gratitude? Keeping your gratitude journal. This is actually a really interesting activity, but always think about when you have gratitude moments for yourself, write them down, document them. At the end of the year, go back and reflect upon them and see just how much you have to be grateful for within your own life. Buy that thing. Treat yourself is kind of the way that, another way of framing it. But don't be afraid to reward yourself for feeling that you deserve to feel that way. You finished that project, you got that new gig. I'm saying that, but PNC, please don't assume that people are finding new jobs. But treating yourself is important for showing gratitude, and it's a way to make yourself feel better about, and not being afraid of showing yourself that gratitude. Finding your own calm. You can do this through meditation. You can do this through a physical activity, going for a walk. Finding your own calm and what works for you. I listen to ASMR videos. It's basically an audio sensory thing where it can create a sense of calm in you just by hearing certain sounds. That's my calm. Some people find it very weird. I'll admit it is, but I really like it and it really works for me. And the last thing is, again, it's an element of treat yourself, but eat that dessert. Just don't worry about that one thing. You earned it more than likely. So how do we action it? Because action is really the important thing here. How do we take that 2 out of 29,309 days? I hope I had that right. And how do we increase that? So we're actually going to do an activity in this room right now. And the people on the Zoom meeting, I would like you to do this yourselves as well. I would like you to take a minute or 3 and write it down or think about it, because I know some people don't have writing utensils in the room. But think about something that you're grateful for within yourself, or think about a person that you're grateful for here at D2L. I want you to think about that and kind of commit it to memory. So take a little bit of time just to do that right now. I'm going to drink some water, and feel free to kind of talk amongst yourselves in the room as well.
Sorry, you said, does it have to be at work related or?
No, anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah, anybody. I'm just framing it for the sake of D2L because we're here right now.
Yep, no, makes total sense. Thank you.
Give everybody another, let's say, 30 seconds. I didn't even realize there's actually a timer on my laptop. That's fun. How's everybody in the room? Feeling good? Feeling good? Okay. What I want to do is I want to take this a step further. So the activity and the challenge that I have for you, and this kind of puts some people out of their comfort zone, and that's okay. But what I want you to do with what you just thought about, what you wrote down, I want you to, before the end of today, I want you to show that gratitude to that person or to yourself in some capacity. For the sake of I have people in the room with me, I would love to go around the room and hear what you're grateful for. For the people that are on Zoom, I would love you to type it into the chat what you're grateful for or who you're grateful for. That way we can kind of see what each other's thinking and what each other has to be grateful for. So if everyone's comfortable going around the room and doing that, that's okay. If you're not comfortable, just say pass.
Sure. I was thinking that I'm grateful for my son. He's 17, so there's potential for lots of teenage ups and downs. And wrote a lot of calm instead. And so it's been a really positive course.
Excellent, that's great.
Yeah, I'll have actually two examples to see. I'll start with myself. Let's say I'm grateful that in the last year or so I went through a lot of ups and downs, especially internally, and I make it out. So it's not easy, especially when you're going up and up. Yeah. Second, I'm grateful to have Nicola as a colleague. I just came to D12 3 months ago. Actually, it's my 3-month anniversary today. And I should be actually grateful to my wife for reminding me of that. I didn't know, yeah.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, Nicola was patient and like I felt a personal interest to ramp me up, right? Not only like the duties. So, yeah, actually, I'm grateful for that. I was planning to let you know at the end of the day, but yeah.
Well, you just did there.
Yeah,
That's great, and congratulations on your 3 months.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, and I'm grateful for you too.
Yeah.
There we go. Excellent.
I'm grateful for my health. History of my family is not that great, so I'm just glad that I'm physically fit and able to be active and not have a concern at this point.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for Corey and D12 for taking the time to hold a session like this. I think gratitude has changed my life. I keep a daily journal for the last 5 years. Every night, it's the last thing I do before I go to bed. And when you rethink of your day and all the great things that happen, all the negative stuff melts away. And you actually sleep more peacefully. You're happier with your life. It really is amazing. So thank you for bringing this to this forum and sharing it with one and your personal.
Thanks for sharing. I'm going to share one from the chat just because I have one. I have Kelly saying that I am grateful for my team at D2L. We face challenges and get pushed out of our comfort zone all the time, but I always feel supported and encouraged to do the best and ask better questions. And I now have Roseanne also giving one. I am grateful for the people and culture team that allows me the ability to be myself and bring my best self to work each and every day. Thank you both.
I'm going to say thanks to my boyfriend most recently, because there's a lot of firsts this year that he's supported me through and pushed me through. And then kind of work related, I'm really grateful for my team because I smile every day at work and it's a big change from what I came from. So I'm really grateful for that.
Mine was similar. I had a job that I did not enjoy going to, and I woke up every day and dreaded it. And now I have a job that I love going to, even when I know I have like a crazy stressful day or lots of meetings. I'm still thankful for all the people that I'm with. I also keep a gratitude journal. I used to let myself have one negative thing. I could write down something that sucked that day. And going back and reading them, it's so trivial to think like that ruined my day or that made me really upset, and now I'm like, it doesn't even matter, or I forgot about it. So sometimes I put it, sometimes I don't, but it's been an interesting perspective from my gratitude side.
That's great.
For me, it's 100% my wife, Camille. Both her and I have kind of seen each other go through ups and downs with depression and anxiety from both sides and supported each other and been on both sides and everything. And we also find that we're both really like odd people, and that we buck the trends in a lot of things like lifestyle. No, it's serious. Like, but we get each other, and even though we're oftentimes we're like standing alone with like diets in our families or friends, and like we're always like the oddballs, and everyone just like laughs at us for that. But like we are there together, and we're both that way. So it's like it feels really good to have somebody like that when everybody around you, not like intentionally judging you, but like you kind of feel that, and it's just nice to have someone that like gets you 100%.
That's awesome. I'm going to read one more from the chat. Bruce says that he is grateful for having an awesome work team, TAMS, with positive energy. That is great. Thank you all for sharing. Now, how do we keep this going? Because we're going to leave this room at some point. We're going to turn off the Zoom meeting. Hi, Facebook. You're going to leave this live chat right now at some point. So how do you keep this going? How do you continue to show gratitude each and every day? Keep writing those thank you notes. I think it's really great to actually write down what you're feeling and when you're feeling it. Obviously, like one of the biggest things is like timeliness. It's something that even within Brightspace we talk about is timely and effective feedback is something that makes students more successful. So apply that to your own life. When you have timely gratitude, write it down. It's more effective that way. That way you don't forget about it. And the same goes for giving that feedback. Give it when it's timely. Don't do it like 3 months down the road when it's like, oh yeah, we did that, didn't we? Make sure that you make the time and prioritize that gratitude. Take time for that reflection. So whether that be something that you do on a daily basis at the end of your day, whether that be something you do weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. I find myself doing a lot of yearly reflection at the end of the year just to kind of quantify sort of like what has happened that year that's changed me as a person. Where was I at the start of the year and where did I end up? What am I grateful for that made that change and evolution happen? And the last thing, which I kind of just hit on, was keep a journal. Write those things down. Make sure that you understand what you're grateful for within yourself and maybe even the world around you. The other thing that we happen to have here at D2L is the lovely Bravo program. I'm sure PNC is very happy that I am talking about this. The Bravo program is a way for you to show gratitude towards your peers in a way that is more sort of in front facing of not just them, their managers. You can show gratitude to your peers, the recognition goes to their managers, and they might even win an award at town halls. The Bravo program is a great way to show gratitude in a way that is nice, bite-sized, and quite tangible. I have another activity for you, and it is actually related to the Bravo system. I would like you, after we leave this meeting, to book yourself a meeting. Like invite yourself to a meeting or an appointment, whatever you want. It can be monthly, it can be quarterly. Reflect and then show gratitude to your peers here at D2L. Think about the projects that you've worked on. Think about what problems you've solved over the last, be it quarter, be it month, and show that gratitude to those people through the Bravo system. Again, it's something that lights people's day up. Really, showing gratitude in any capacity. I do find that the Bravo award system is great though, because a lot of people really almost immediately respond to you giving them an award because it's a very out in the open and honest interpretation of that gratitude that you're feeling. So that is the second challenge that I have for you today. So I like recaps. Recaps are fun. This is if you didn't pay attention to anything else that I said, these are the things that are important. So gratitude is a great power and a great responsibility. I am pretty sure someone's uncle said that at some point or maybe several points. You can show more gratitude than just 2 out of the 29,309 days of your average life. I am grateful to be alive. I am happy that I was able to share my story with you and frame up what I am grateful for and why I am presenting to you on gratitude itself. You can be grateful internally and externally. What I wanted you to do before the end of the day is to give someone that gratitude. Some of you in the room have already done that, so check. But for those of you who have not done that, I would like you to do that before the end of today. Be grateful responsibly. I know I said treat yourself, but treat yourself within reason. Book some time to reflect on gratitude, be that monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily, whatever your flavor is. Book that time and do that reflection to make sure that you understand what you have to be grateful for and who you have to thank for that gratitude. And lastly, use the Bravo system. It's neat. I like it. I like to kind of do like full circle things, so I am going to end my presentation today the exact same way that I started it, by simply saying thank you for joining me today. I hope you've learned something, and I hope you spread more gratitude and increase that number from 2 to 4 to 6 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's like a Q&A component to this at all, but And if there is, let me know.
We can have one if there are any questions, absolutely.
Yeah, does anyone have any additional questions about any of the things that I presented? Anything you want to add?
Gratitude from pets. We don't realize the impact that they have on us, because you could have a horrible day or you walk in the door and they're just happy to see you every time. So I think we forget that. So when you go home, just pet them.
Pet your animals. Pet
I pet my dog every night before I go to bed, and she knows that I'm saying good night, and she will come as soon as she wakes up and come over to the bedside just to look at me. You're there. I know you're there. So I guess we forget that too.
No, that's
I know
great.
you mentioned it there earlier.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
I'll agree. My dog makes me happy.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
and not a question for me, but thank you because I also really enjoyed this session.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And thank you to everyone on the Zoom meeting for attending this. And thank you to Facebook. I guess it's already gone, so sorry, missed that part. But yeah, thank you all so very much for taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble on a little bit. Yeah, please go and spread more gratitude in your day. Thank you.
Thanks.